So I was just preparing my sentences just now, so I wasn't ready. But in my work, I focus a lot on self-portraits. This is not a self-portrait, this is my grandparents, but I focus a lot on self-portraits. I'm exploring trauma, grief, eating disorders, so I create very distorted and surreal self-portraits. And I also focus a lot on preserving memories of people that I love, like my grandparents in the kitchen that I grew up in. And also I'm from Richmond, and that's everything I got. Also, my last name has 2 T's. Clock that, 2 T's.
Hi, my name is Aranza. I'm from Mexico, so English is not my first language. I'm sorry for the grammar mistakes. I'm focusing on abstract and minimalist art. My work is with a lot of texture and gold leaf, like maybe what representing watercolors, but it's actually acrylic. So I love like the deep, adding deep on the frames, like to feeling like really into my pieces. And yeah, I mean, in each work that I do, I'm actually healing a different like personal situation. So yeah, that's it.
I'm Izzy Thomas. I went to Cleveland Institute of Art. I go there. My work is probably, I would say it's like addressing kind of like, it's like a contemporization of Rococo themes, I would say, and like visually sort of like that. Yeah, I like am into talking about like hedonism, like consumer culture, and I like colors.
Hi guys, I'm JJ. I make sculptures out of children's toys. I get my inspiration from psychologists like Dora Kalf or Carl Jung. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. And I work with themes of childhood because I believe the way we grow up is kind of the way we are in certain situations socially and also with relationships. And I think it's really important to go back to that core of where you came from. And so I use found objects like children's toys, like I said before, and I use technology and old retro TVs and new technology with iPads and light and all that kind of stuff. So, yes.
Hello, I'm Adriana. I go to college for creative studies in Detroit. And my work is kind of like expanded from the 4 years, and I kind of changed up last second for my senior thesis, and now I've been really interested in studying like dreams and surreal art. And yeah, that's kind of it. I study interdisciplinary, so I do fine arts, interior design, and film. So I mostly do film and yeah.
Hi, my name is Leslie. I came from France. Sorry for the accent. I try to do I love colors, abstraction, gesture, and expressive art. So I'm still trying to find the bridge between figurative and abstraction. So that's it.
Hi, so I haven't finished eating my pizza, so yeah. I am a printmaker and a painter primarily. I am from Puerto Rico. I study at the University of Puerto Rico, and I have a second major in Caribbean and Latin American art history as well. That informs a lot of my practice. I do a lot of dry point, and I do a lot of oil painting. I would say my work is centered around My experiences as a gender fluid person and as someone who has obsessive compulsive disorder. And my work also speaks to topics of colonialism and gender violence within Puerto Rico. So, thanks.
It's Lynn, May, sorry. I am here today to show y'all my work. This is, I do large scale kind of watercolor, but using the oils like watercolor. And these are about like exploring grief and becoming your own person after grief and channeling that into something that can be something so much greater and so much more spiritual. And yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm from University of North Texas, Dallas. Yeah, shout out for Dallas. So.
Okay, hi, I'm Natasha Walter Panay. I did my BFA at AU Arts in Alberta, and I majored in painting. I did a minor in jewelry metals. My work is primarily in oil paint on canvas, depicting figures usually obscured or disembodied in some way to represent a detachment of self or identity through a decolonial lens as an Indigenous Canadian person. And I'll continue my studies in the Emily Carr University of Art and Design for my master's degree.
Hi, I'm Clancy Bartlett. I'm from Idaho, where I'm currently at the University of Idaho. I'm a double major there for studying fine arts and then virtual technology and design. I primarily work in pastels, oils, and charcoal, where I like to study the figure. I've been focusing the last year on virtual technology and design, so having this chance to come to SURP has really allowed me to jump back into the art world, which I'm appreciative.
Hi everyone, I'm Sky. I just graduated with my BFA from Auburn University. I'm from Alabama, and I had a concentration in painting and drawing. I'm primarily a portrait artist. I work a lot in oil and charcoal, and I try to focus on themes of femininity. I grew up in a family of all boys, so that's something that's very special to me in myself, and then also my own personal struggles with mental illness. So I try to personify those struggles through my portraiture. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
Hey everyone, I'm George. I'm an oil painter, and my work is all about connection of person to place. How does that shape us, and how does it shape our personal relationships? And because I am from the beautiful mountain town of Asheville, North Carolina, most of my work is centered around the Blue Ridge Mountains and how that's been a very formative place for me, and how it's basically given me all of my found family and the people closest to me. I think of it just kind of as a love letter to people and place that's made me who I am, and that extends to other places I've been. It's just mostly about figure and environment. I love a lot of 19th century naturalists and impressionists, and yeah, you can see that here. Thank you guys.
Oh, for the camera, okay. Hi, I'm Gabe. I'm from New Mexico. So I thought we were going to be talking specifically about the pieces we put up, but as far as what I'm doing in school right now, I go to Western New Mexico University. I don't really know what I'm doing. And I think that there's some stuff that's emerging, but I don't really have an elevator pitch to talk about it. But I think I'm really interested in, exploring sort of the surreal, I think, sort of dark themes, dreamy. I picked pieces that sort of represent how I feel about my area, the rural New Mexico, and so except this one. But I don't know. I think what I'm going into is more I'm into I exploring sort of archetypal kind of feeling based, dreamy. What did I write down? Abstracted. You get it. You get it. That's all.
Hi, I'm Chase. I'm from Philly. I'm currently studying at MICA, going into my third year. a lot of my work currently is kind of based around deconstructing and like fractalization of the figure and a lot of suggestification of it as well. I'm super into like these nights too right now with the, I don't know, deconstructing, which I think is really interesting. A lot of how I work is based around the chance of operations, which for me, I don't really know what a painting is going to be until it's done. So every single thing I'm reacting to and learning about the painting is after every single brushstroke. And for me, that's super important. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Hi. My name is Lim Pooch. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. This is a painting of, output vent, and I'm intrigued with the mundane. I think boredom is like the greatest influence. I think we're all influenced by boredom. And this is a vent. Next one is filter. Is this the only two I have? Okay, cool. And a light. This one is like, I called it blinded by light. It's kind of like, there's a few plays kind of going on here. The blinds, it's blinded, blah, blah, blah. And this filter here is like a collection of, it's always working, and it collects all our thoughts in a way. And I thought it'd be cool to be on the wall. And that's it. Nice.
I'm Charlie. My name's actually Charlie Emmett. I just didn't want to cause any confusion. But I knew I'd freeze up, so I wrote a couple things. I paint the feeling of places, pulling from one of my numerous favorite parks, buildings, and such that I've grown to have a very fond connection with. I view these places as a living, breathing thing, which means depictions of the same place could look drastically different at different times, like painting people and capturing their changing qualities. I'm heavily inspired by the New Sincerity movement, also called post-postmodernism by some. The movement spans across mediums, and I didn't know it until about a year ago, but I was already consuming these works before I knew what it was. I first thought I was only exploring the movement in my films, but then it dawned on me that what I'm trying to do in my paintings and analog work is convey this sense of fulfillment that New Sincerity is built off of. Though I do believe the movement holds a great deal of the cynicism and irony of the postmodern movement, alongside the satisfaction commonly characterized by New Sincerity works, thus depicting a truly sincere and genuine fulfilling work. This was a work actually made for a short film, but this was just the after product. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Vincent. I am from Houston. I am going to be an MFA candidate for 2027. Yeah, thank you. I am interested in the human condition and in essentially our shared experiences. I want to tell those stories in visual language that is timeless, that is aesthetically pleasing, and that is authentic consistently. And so I am hoping to come here and really narrow down my style and what I do. So thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Luca. I'm from Alberta, Canada, and I currently go to the Alberta University of the Arts. Most of my work is about my experience with CPTSD and the feelings of shame and regret and guilt that come along with that. But recently, I've been really interested in leather work to create bondage gear. So, yeah.
Hello, my name is Molly. I also go to Alberta University of the Arts from Calgary, Canada, Alberta. My work a lot is mostly about grief and mourning and death, except this one. This is, okay, I do like half like a lot of like mourning and grief and death, and then the other half is like a lot of feminism and specifically radical feminism, very inspired by Riot Girl. And then there's a deer. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Elijah Davidson. I'm from the University of Chester in the UK. Flown across the pond to get here, very exciting. A lot of my work is about like the discovery of identity, the discovery of like intimacy in the self. I look a lot at the minute at like places of intentionally gathered knowledge, and often that's like galleries, museums, like putting those things on like a pedestal, that sort of like religious undertones to that sort of thing, like a sanctimonious sort of thing. Working a bit with like found objects and stuff. A lot of my work has been print majorly. So yeah, excited to continue.
Hi everyone, I'm Olivia. I did my undergrad at Tufts. I did not study art, but I'm gonna be an MFA candidate as well. Yeah, I focus on sort of intimate, private scenes. I think my art is kind of just about human connection and exploring these kind of often unseen moments. And I think that's all I have to say right now.
Hi everyone, my name is Olga Jemidovich. It's a Polish name. I'm Polish, but I've been living in Melbourne, Australia for the last 12 years. Melbourne is amazing, and my work is predominantly inspired by Impressionism and Expressionism. I also do live wedding painting, this one, but yeah, landscapes. I love the Australian landscape. And color as well, yeah, expressive brushstrokes and abstracting the landscape to convey aliveness and joy. Thank you.
So I submitted a while ago, so I forgot what I put up, what I submitted. But my name's Kayla. I just graduated with my BFA from the University of North Florida, and my work focuses on what makes using the figure as a vessel and like what makes us people and who we are. I've been working a lot with silhouettes recently as kind of a commentary on like things that are taken away. So I've been thinking about like nature and how we're connected to nature and how we've been taken away from it. And so the silhouettes kind of function as a representation of our removal from that. But yeah, so I'm making it.
Hi guys, I'm Katie. I'm also an MFA candidate. My work is mostly figurative, and if I told you that I always knew what my subject matter kind of driving force was, then I would be lying. I kind of found it as I was going, and most of my work kind of is me attempting to process and heal generational trauma and, you know, kind of find connection with the world, things that I love, and, you know. And yeah, I think that's kind of all I can really say.
Hi everyone, my name is Ariela Hernandez Melendez, and I primarily work in oil paint. I'm from the Bronx, New York, and I'm really interested in different ecological themes and how we connect to nature psychologically and physically. I try and find different green spaces in the city, because as you know, there's almost no trees, and get different references of plants and incorporate that with different figurative gestures. And I'm hoping to understand more technique and to push myself conceptually in the program. And that's it.
Hi everyone, my name is Chloe Northrup. My work typically surrounds the discussion of the female body and medicalization of the female body through cancer and trauma and surgeries and connection. Currently I'm working towards navigating family trauma and what that looks like through the body, both physically and emotionally. A lot of my art requires my whole body. It's a really physical interaction between me and my art. So yeah, I'm excited to learn more.
Hi, my name is Ariana Medina. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm going to be a sophomore at MICA in this fall. And I'm still kind of exploring the different themes of my artwork and stuff, but most of it revolves around kind of this contrasting imagery between like these like cute and kind of childlike like aesthetics and kind of like horror and like scary themes. And yeah, I'm just exploring, trying out different things. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chrissia. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta. Yeah, go Oilers. I don't know if anybody watches hockey, but we're in the Stanley Cup Finals, so we're gonna bring it back to Canada. Anyways, my work is about like trauma and sexuality. I think a lot about religion and colonialism. I'm Latin American, so these are themes that I've been wrestling with for a lot of my life. So I started exploring them through my art. I'm really inspired by like pop surrealism. I love working with like bright colors and just like using juxtaposition, childhood themes mixed with like the recesses of the adult soul and bringing all of these things together, and yeah.
Hello, I'm Kira. I'm gonna be in the CFA program this year. Thanks. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I graduated last year from Connecticut College. And I'd say in the past couple years now, most of my art, I paint mostly, and I also do sometimes pen and ink illustrations and also found object sculptures, and recently weaving on like a floor loom and basket weaving I've been kind of experimenting with, and some dyeing too. But yeah, in the past couple years, I would say my art has primarily been focused around farming systems in the United States and exploitation in food and drug industries, and kind of collaged imagery and research and stories behind all that. Thanks.
Hey, I'm Townsend Baird. I'm from Alabama. I just graduated from WashU in St. Louis. Yeah, most of my work is on Duralar, so it's very modular. And I think a lot about storytelling, devotion, and connecting mythology, history, as well as personal narrative through archetype. So, yeah.
Hi, my name is Catherine Blummel. I'm from the University of Minnesota, and I primarily work with charcoal and graphite. And a lot of my work is centered around the female form and self-portraiture, and I like putting the female form in the expansive landscape. And recently I've been working with reflections to kind of distort the figure, and working with memory and family trauma. So yeah, that's me.
Hi, my name is Esther. I'm going to be doing this CFA this year, and yeah, I'm from Brazil. I'm a self-taught artist. I graduated in design. My art is mostly about identity and self-reflection, and I love working with lots of colors and stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Hello, my name's Sasha. I am from San Francisco, and I go to NYU. I'm going to be a junior for fine art, and I do a lot of functional art and sculpture. Like this is a candle holder. I like to work with light and how art incorporated with light can change a space. And I also do a lot of like humorous piece. Like this is a beer light. But yeah.